All right, guys, we are back. We are officially moved in to the new DDE HQ in Compton, but nothing's really set up yet. We don't have power to any of the big equipment, which I think is just enough to get away with being able to start working on the F12 again. I don't want this thing to just sit here in the back corner. I want to get moving on it. I want to get this project done, because when we do get this project done, when we go out to test it, we have the block now. So we can literally pull out of a door and test this car and start shaking it down. But we obviously need it to run first. Next step, getting the engine out of the car, because right now it is just a bare block. There's nothing inside of it except for a crankshaft. The only reason that's there was to bolt the flywheel and stuff on it so we could get the bell housing lined up, but there's no pistons, there's no rods, no valves in it. So it's basically just empty inside. We got to get this car to the other side of the shop. That means we either have to push it, we got to move some cars anyway, or we can tow it. Maybe we get a forklift, try not to wreck the car.
The Tim R2.
Well, that might break 2 cars. I don't know. For now, I want to get this engine out, because when we do, we can get it back over to D-Sport. We have the pistons, we have the rods, but we do not have the bearings yet. And to get the proper bearings, we need to pull this thing apart and measure the crank and measure the case, measure the rod, get all those dimensions, and then order the bearings from Ferrari, because there are no bearing manufacturers aftermarket-wise that make bearings for this engine. That means it's got to come from Italy, which means it's gonna take some time. So let's figure out what we're gonna do.
We could tie it to the front of the cop car. That would work. It's a good tow hook.
I don't know. I mean, what's an F12 bumper cost anyway? A couple thousand bucks? It's cheap.
It's nothing.
It's cheap. It's no big deal, right, Dave? The other issue is that we don't have a bumper like on the car where we can tow in, like put in a tow hook. We could possibly put like a strap around here and pull it, but if we turn, it's a turbo. That's not a good idea.
It rolls pretty. Let's just push it.
You want to push it? Yeah. That's the least exciting way to do it, but probably the safest. So I'm on board with that. Good news.
Oh, Mike. Oh, dude. You're gonna hit. I think you're gonna hit. That's why he's the champ. Look at that. Tim, you're not even pushing.
I am pushing.
You gotta push. You're not pushing, you're just walking. Yeah, see, look.
We're actually rolling pretty good right now.
Going fast.
Yeah, I'm not braking, so hopefully this goes.
You don't need them.
Whoa. Quick, tractor. Watch out, Mike.
I'm about to get run over. Initiate. Wait, on the call. Make it. Oh, we're gonna make it. Oh!
Oh, you good?
I ran over.
Caught up on that bolt right there.
Watch out, Mark.
Yeah. That's like probably the best place for this to be, where we can still lift the car, but not hit our head on this as we walk by. Hold it over there.
It's dangling on a zip tie and a wire.
Yeah, it's safe. Yeah, it's hanging off of an airline. Seems legit.
Nice.
Yeah. The car's over here now. We gotta take every single piece off. So we're gonna have to pull the dump pipes off. We'll have to pull the turbos off. We'll have to pull the X pipe off, pull the headers off, and then we'll be able to get the engine out. But we have to take headlights. We take the bumper off. We gotta take the intercooler out, the intercooler mount. So basically everything on the front end besides the suspension needs to get stripped to be able to get that engine out of here.
It's dirty.
Hey.
I think we're good.
We're measuring long ways, not short ways.
What?
So you gotta go this way.
Depth.
Depth.
Width as well.
Yes,
If it's
also.
inside, then it doesn't matter how long it is.
All right, let's see. So we're right around there. Maybe just clear. As long as basically the quick jacks have to be behind the side marker lights. They're behind that, we're good, but I think they're longer.
So the quick jacks, they have these little blocks that basically sit on top of the quick jack, and then it supports it so it's not metal on metal with the car. We're not sure where those are at right now. So we gotta find those before we can get it up. Yeah. Big problems. Everything's a problem. Found it. Mike. Found it? Found it.
Oh, that's
Oh, all right.
Sean.
Still there. And that's all F12 engine parts, so they shouldn't be in there. Just like chargers and batteries and stuff. You know what, let's just put it on jack stands because it's gonna take all day and I don't wanna waste the entire day hunting. We're not gonna spend all day to make this process 5 minutes faster. So we're just gonna get the jack and we're gonna jack it up. We're gonna put it on jack stands. We gotta pull some of the body panels off. We gotta pull the rocker panels off, I think, to probably get the jack underneath there. But those are literally on there with one bolt, so they'll be easy to pull off. Get started. We're also gonna have to take all of this stuff out of the interior because right now we can't get to the bolts that go through down to the transmission mount. So all that stuff's gonna have to come out. Oh, take the doors off too. So whenever I build cars, I build them to be serviced, to be worked on, to be disassembled and reassembled as easily as possible. When it's a race car, things need to happen quickly. If something breaks, you need to be able to service those parts. And it's also kind of a pain when you're just working on a car and everything takes a long time because you didn't think it through when you were building it. This should come apart really quickly. Most of the hardware is the same size. It's really easy. Everything is accessible. We're gonna tear this thing down in about 5 minutes.
It's on me. Slow.
The car will be on you.
I didn't want to do that.
Go up.
Go on.
Yeah, that's a good placement.
You know, it's
Is it safe?
No.
Is it safe?
all right. Slow.
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 Yeah, it's not fine. We're not supposed to have any earthquakes today, right? All right, body panels are off. Now we have some room to work. First part that needs to come out is the intercooler. We're gonna take that out with the whole structure that we built. So 2 bolts here, 2 bolts on the other side, 2 on the bottom. This whole thing will come out. Then we'll start by taking the dump pipes off, the turbos, the X pipe, headers, everything else. This is the old intake manifold, which we are not using. It was just on the block as kind of a mock-up. But hopefully by the time we're done building this engine, it will be time for us to get our new intake manifold that's being custom made out of billet aluminum. It's gonna be really cool. If we get that part and we get the new engine, or we get the engine built, we'll be able to put the manifold on, finish all the fabrication. If we don't have the intake manifold in time, we can 3D print a copy of the manifold, bolt that on so we can finish all the fab work. So either way, we'll still be able to move forward and make a lot of progress. Strong. Woo. That thing looks pretty sick. Normally, probably be easiest to drop the subframe and take the engine out of the bottom, but we don't have a lift, so we can't get the car high enough up to get the hydraulic jack table underneath to drop the engine down and have it clear. So what we're gonna do is just pull it out of the top. But to do that, we're gonna have to get some chains or something to put on the engine to be able to hold that in place, to pull it out. And I think we're also gonna have to get the steering rack out of the way just to give us some more clearance here so we can get the engine to come forward and up a bit slower and not have to try to crank it up, because if we pulled it up, we're gonna hit the bell housing on the back, the engine will hit the firewall. Steering rack doesn't take that long to pull out, so we're gonna take that out. No, it's moving now. I'm just trying to get like decent bit of leverage on it. There we go. Don't worry about that. All right. Put these back in here so I don't lose them.
What was the trick for not dying from blizzards?
Careful that you got that sack of fluid that was just chilling on your chest over there. I'm good. It's punctured, so I just
You got a sack on your chest?
my boy.
All right, let's grab a 19, bam, and a 21, bam, oh, bam, bam. Some extendos, you know, one of these,
Tim, you wanna grab that? Put it underneath the transmission so we can pull the transmission mount.
Tight.
So it looks like the bolts for lifting the engine are those guys. Yeah, because there's nothing really on the back or on the front that's big enough. Like there's no 10 mil. Yeah, everything is like 6. It's too small. So we might just use the ratchet straps to pick it up. We just have to make sure we get them on there in the right spot where they're not gonna slide. We lift the engine, we don't want those like the straps sliding and then engine falling, obviously. I think we can get it.
Forklift?
What are these rated for?
1,500.
1,500?
Maybe 12.
So maybe 400 pounds since they're from Harbor Freight. Should be good enough. Should be. Just a little loop. Something like that.
I am just loosening the trans mount. I think I'm just gonna take it all the way off. I need another 17, but I'll get that after. Or I'll have Sean get it for me, since he is above and I am below. See? We're good.
Yeah. One time in band camp, a long time ago, we were pulling an engine out, and I can't remember, I was maybe in auto shop class or something, pulling an engine out, and somebody was jacking up the engine. I had my hand over here trying to get the motor mount loose. For some reason, they dropped the engine down, and the motor mount dropped right on my thumbnail, smashed it in and dented it, and it's been like that forever. And then on this thumb, that was rebuilding a transmission, pulling gears out. Had a gear up, it was stuck on the top, and I was like, all right, well, I'll pull another gear up and then grab the puller and pull them all. Well, I went to do that, and then the gear fell down, sliced my thumb, and wrecked this one too. So I got a couple special thumbs there. Trans mounts off?
Yeah.
Motor mounts are out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start going up, and let's see how we're looking. Movement. All right, start going down with that jack, Tim.
Okay. I'm lowering. More.
Yep.
More. Okay.
Is it even touching anymore?
Yes.
All right,
Now it's not.
okay. Keep on cruising. Keep on cruising. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, come out with it. Okay, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Is it holding? Is it good?
All right, the engine is out. First step to get this thing on the engine stand is to pull the transmission off. And because of this transmission, it's only got 4 bolts. So we're gonna take those 4 bolts off and pull the transmission off and take the bell housing off separately because we still have to weld this up. So it's easier to do it now. It comes apart really quick. I have a wrench ready. Pop these out. Had it in my pocket, ready to go. So we either need to like put a jack under here.
Good.
More.
Who knew Mike was such a poet? Got a wiggle.
A little wiggle and a yank.
More wiggle. 1, 2.
Oh.
Chill. 1, 2.
There you go.
There's a clutch in there. Probably wouldn't want to do that. Is there a clutch?
There is a clutch.
Damn.
With 4 plates.
4 plates. Count them. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sean and Tim are gonna work on pulling the bell housing and the clutch off. But the good news is that the electrician just showed up. Let's run him through all the stuff that we need to get done ASAP. We need these to get hooked up. I can't tell you anything about the phasing on that wall over there because I know nothing. Adapters don't fit, so I think those are gonna have to get swapped, or you tell me.
Right.
Also, we've got the plasma table over here. That needs to get wired in. I know they did have a plasma table over here in that spot before.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the electrical connection over there might just be a different plug, but is the correct, power that we need.
Right.
I think we need to run some more 220 on this wall. Okay. And I'm not sure if that's gonna be that big of a deal because it looks like this panel's already here, right? So
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is a 3-phase panel. Sorry, it's a 3-phase power in there, so that's a great sign. If you need 3-phase, run out of it.
Okay. Then just an outlet right here.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Because we don't have anything else, so we can't hook up the welder anywhere in this room currently. I'm not sure what the power is here.
This is 3-phase here already.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It's only 20 amps though, so you
Okay.
see it's only like a ½ inch, so the wire in there's pretty small.
Oh, got it, okay. So we could probably run like a little grinder or something like that off of this thing.
Yeah.
We also... I don't even not want to know what happened over there. I'll find out later. Damn.
Tim doing 10 things.
Back to powering this place up. Outside we have a compressor.
Hey Tim, you good?
All right, so we've got the compressor out here.
Yeah.
I think they had it hooked up here and they just pulled the wires like out of it. It was just like hardwired, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's a big puppy.
Yeah, so that's some serious power right there.
Yeah, that's 483 phase. That's about as big as you can get in this building.
Yeah, so I don't even know if that's gonna work for this compressor.
I think that's a little big for this. It's
looking at the schematics, checking out the diagrams. Yeah, 30 amp.
Yeah,
on that.
that's not 480, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot smaller than that.
Okay. So basically we need to like pop through the wall and put another box
Right.
over here or something
Yeah,
for that
which
to get
is
hooked up to?
as hard as it sounds. It's pretty standard, easy stuff. So.
Let me tell you, I did not make it.
So we have power here and we're gonna put some lifts in here, but I think we're also going to add some lifts in this other room.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if there's any power over there yet that will actually power a lift. 4-post lifts over here. 3 or 4, I'm not sure yet. And I know obviously there's the electricals over there, but I don't know what's in those boxes.
Yeah.
But all I see on the back wall is like 110 outlets. So I don't know if there's something in there that we can run to power these
Are
lifts.
the lifts, are they 3-phase or?
I believe that they are 3-phase.
I would think so. Most
Yeah.
of them are. Okay. Yeah, that changes things a lot. It's only 150 amp panel, which is a little bit smaller, but I think it is 3-phase, and there's a bunch of room in it. It's just old, but we can probably work off of that.
These lifts are going to be for storage.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be all run at the same time, obviously.
It's only 150 amps, so it is smaller, but
Yeah.
it should still be fine.
So, all right, that's perfect then. We don't have to rewire the entire building to get those put in there.
Right.
Yeah. I was sweating. I'm like, all right, how much is this gonna cost? How much downtime is it gonna be to get all this stuff done? It's like, until we get this building dialed in, everything takes longer. So like day-to-day stuff, pulling a car in, trying to put it on a lift and having all these issues. We don't have air. We don't have any of the big like shop equipment stuff. It's just hand tools and jacks. Like basically you're working in your garage at your house, which is doable, but not ideal. Yeah, we gotta get this dialed in.
For sure.
Quick. The last thing that I want to ask you about is possibly putting some big lights, like some floodlights in that corner and maybe some more along this fence.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how difficult that is. I don't think there's any power over there at all.
Right.
So I don't know what you would do to get power on that side.
Yeah, well, the hard way, but the nice way would be to trench it, which would suck.
Yeah.
Or we could put a nice riser up there, and then it would kind of be like our own little makeshift power line running over there.
Oh,
so
got it.
Go up on the roof, pipe it up, put a riser, and then run it over, have probably another riser on this fence, and then they run down and do their
So you
thing.
basically just hang the wires across.
Right.
Okay.
It's a long run. Hopefully it doesn't sag too much, but usually those risers keep a lot of tension on there, so it's pretty tight.
Okay. But that's kind of a big job then. Sounds
Right,
like
but that'd be a lot cheaper than
digging a giant hole.
doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming out.
No problem.
All right, so I think we have. Oh! It's a good thing I'm here now. What's going on? Ah, my ears! I thought the toolbox fell over again. I like the rolling cart. Straps are good. We're not gonna fall.
Looks like it.
All right.
To be honest, I didn't even look.
That's reassuring.
I don't think Tim did either.
I'll set them up.
Oh, hey, wow. Yo, Tim is such a hater. Yeah, brother.
Yeah! All right, start coming down, Tim.
Okay.
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 All right, where's the pin?
I threw it somewhere.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pinned up.
come on down. Yeah, this thing is just as sketchy as I remember it.
That's kind of sketchy.
I know, and there's like a lot of things missing out of the inside of the engine.
Why is it tipping like that?
Level is sturdy. No, we're caught on the,
Oh yes.
that guy.
That was a
it's
real
moving.
fun last time.
Well, there's no bearings in it. Well, there's no thrust bearings.
So right now I have a lot of thrust.
It's very thrust.
A lot of crank walk.
Yes.
Damn, my boy knows crank walk. All right.
Oh,
We're losing power.
Well, that's not a good sign.
hey!
Dave paid the bill.
That was it right there. The bill was due. Boom, paid.
He just was late by 30 seconds. 60s.
Damn, what a potty mouth. You hear that?
Sheesh. Jamie, leave that in.
Jamie, leave it in.
Ah, it's stuck.
I thought you were ready.
I'm ready.
My side's up. Your side's up. No. Can't go sideways, gotta go up. Go up.
I need you to go down, and I'll go up. Okay, I'm up.
I need you to go down. Okay, go up.
Oh, I'm up.
Okay, go down. There we go. Now slowly wiggle it.
Okay.
Your side's too high. You need to go up.
Oh, I thought you said go down.
Alright, Tim, watch out. Dude, these studs are like tight.
Oh. The Ferrari tool.
Yep.
There we go. All I needed was a little encouragement.
All right, so a big issue that we have with the engine in its current state is these DFI ports. When they got plugged up, there was a lot of contamination in there. And you can see all of these holes, especially right there, those are huge, but most of them have quite a bit of pitting. If I had everything set up here, if we had the proper welding equipment, we would weld this in-house and make sure that it's done properly. But unfortunately, all of our stuff is not set up. We do not have a welder that's big enough to be able to heat the metal up enough here to weld it, because this is a massive piece of aluminum. We might actually go in here and get the die grinder out and start to open up those pits and just see how deep they go, because I want to make sure that they're not just going to do like a superficial weld over the top that could later pop open. If that pops open, you get material into the cylinder, but also now you have this kind of crater in there that can be a hot spot. Anytime you have a rough or sharp edge, it will be glowing red hot, and you can get detonation, which is basically pre-ignition. So before the spark plug ignites, when you want it to ignite the mixture, it's going to ignite by itself while the piston is moving up, and that's going to cause huge issues. You can explode a piston, you can melt a piston, you can bend a rod, you can destroy the bearing. Lots of things can happen. So we want to make sure that these get welded up properly. To do that, I think we'll probably grind these out ourselves just to make sure we get it down deep enough.
Yeah, this one's pretty bad.
That one's pretty bad. This one's like,
Oh, that's bad.
craters. Yeah, they all need some work. So I think when we get the air compressor hooked up, which hopefully will be soon, before we drop the engine parts back off at D-Sport, because D-Sport doesn't do the welding in-house. They're a race engine machine shop, but they don't have that welding equipment. They don't have the welding knowledge and expertise. That's not what they do. So they sent these out to someone else to have it done. I'm not sure if it's just the material quality that made it so porous and that's why the dirt's coming out, or if it had something to do with the DFI port being there and it was still contaminated. Not sure what happened, but we do need to make sure that we solve this issue before we send it back out. I can't wait till we get everything set up in this shop. It's going to make just working on cars so much more efficient, quick, easy. Right now, we can still get stuff done, but it's just, everything is a process. Everything's a bit of a hassle. Air tools are going to be a huge plus. Obviously, having all of our cutting equipment. We made this engine stand with a plasma cutter. That's not up and running right now. We don't have any welding equipment. We don't have the bandsaw working. Zip it off there. I'm just talking. It's all right. I wasn't saying anything important anyway. Tools. It's just dreaming. Tools. Tools are good. Yep.
That's it.
All right, this is another one of those sticky.
Uh-oh.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
Oh yeah. I wonder where my ruler went. Dude, somebody in the comments was like, oh my God, I can't believe the ports are open and they're working on it. Guys, there's nothing in the engine. It's hollow. Watch all the videos.
Oh, there's something in
Watch all the videos. There's something in there. Oh, the crank's in there. Look at that crank. Crank ready to go. All right, we got to get this box out of here. I need a machete to chop through this. All right, crank box.
Oh, that's just a box. All right. Cool.
It's the crank box though.
Yeah, it's the crank box.
All right, we can put this back on there now.
Over here.
Yeah, like move your hands.
Oh, like right there in that
Right
spot?
here. These are the weird ass head stud nut Allen things.
They're the nuts that hold the heads on. But they are kind of odd. So it's a barrel nut and it's an Allen inside of there. So that way you don't have to use a big socket, so that way they can have the head just machined big enough for these to go in. Makes the heads a bit stiffer, a little bit stronger. Ferrari does all the tricks to make sure that their engines are strong. And this thing is pretty impressive because I think it's, what is it, factory, like almost 700, 600 something horsepower?
Yeah, almost 700.
Yeah, out of a normally aspirated 6.3 liter, so pretty solid. Pretty good engine design. Right, Sean?
Solid.
Solid.
It's good.
Solid.
It's good.
We're gonna-
6.3 liter. 12 cylinders.
6.2?
Yep, all that.
All right, so I know it looks like we went backwards today because all of these custom parts that we've been working on for quite a while are out of the car again and sitting on a table and not in the F12 anymore. But that's actually moving forward because we need to get that engine out, obviously, so we can build it. We can finally get those new pistons and rods that we had custom made put into the engine. So they have to finish the final machine work now. Need to take each cylinder and measure it, each piston and measure it, and machine the cylinders to fit the pistons perfectly. We could do the general, you know, this is a 94 millimeter piston, so just go through and bore them all to 94 millimeters, but this is a very, very high horsepower, high revving race engine. So we want the tolerances to be perfect. So that means that they're actually going to measure the skirt and bore each cylinder to the exact tolerance we want. Same thing with the bearings. We have to find the proper bearings from Ferrari, which means that we may actually have to change the size of the bore in the connecting rods to get them to be correct. The crankshaft tolerance is going to be whatever the factory says that the specs are right. We can adjust that slightly, but if this isn't exactly the right size, we may need to adjust that. The pin ends should be good, but we're gonna check those also. So all of these things need to happen to make sure that we can run this thing hard and rev it to 9,000 RPM plus. Anti-lag, 20 something pounds of boost, maybe some nitrous in the future. We're not sure yet if we're gonna need that or not, but the engine needs to be overbuilt so it can handle all of the abuse that we're gonna throw at it, because we are going to drive this car hard, and we're gonna drive this car hard, not only back here at the block, but we're going to do some absolutely insane Gymkhana style videos with this car. And this car, hopefully, will be done in about a month, maybe 2. Moving here to the new shop is a big move forward for us, but it is going to slow things down on this car a little bit. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have this car running by the end of February. That's probably not going to happen. I think it's gonna be another week until we get all of our equipment up and running in the shop to where we can actually start doing all the fab work again. But that's why we want to start with pulling the engine out, because that's something that we could actually do right now. So get the air compressor hooked up, start grinding on those heads, get those pits out of there so we can get it welded up properly, and then get all the parts over to D-Sport. And we'll take a tour over there with them and show you all of their amazing equipment that they use to check everything out. Measure the bearings, order the bearings, and we can start assembling the engine, which is a huge step forward. Something that I actually kind of enjoy, building a race engine, because everything needs to be perfect. It's the attention to detail, and that's what I like. The attention to detail on a car build, the engine, the fuel system, the tuning, the suspension, all of that stuff, wrapping into one insane package of a twin turbo Ferrari F12.